Secret recipes, secret decks, coded messages, a hidden pool? There's more than meets the eye on the Carnival Conquest. No expense was spared when building this $500 million cruise ship. You'll find hidden masterpieces in the most unlikely places. And there's a secret so hidden, we couldn't even find it. I'll give you a behind-the-scenes look at the Carnival Conquest that's guaranteed to make your cruise even more memorable. Shh. The Carnival Conquest is the first ship of its namesake class of cruise ships. It is an original Carnival design, modified from the older Destiny class by lengthening the ship about 60 feet. This allowed Carnival to expand most of the venues, add a restaurant above the Lido deck, and increase the number of cabins. The Carnival Conquest has 1,487 cabins with room for about 3,000 passengers at full capacity. Here's our first secret for you. If ocean watching is your thing, then you're in luck. Nearly 2/3 of the cabins have a window, and nearly 2/3 of those cabins have a balcony. We weren't quick enough to score a balcony. They sold out mere hours before we booked. But we did get a great ocean view on deck 1. The window was wide enough to sit in, and I spent many hours watching the waves go by only 20 feet below me. The Carnival Conquest was built during the tenure of cruise ship design legend Jo Farkas, and her over-the-top decor is typical of that era of Carnival's history. She was launched in 2002 from her original home port of New Orleans. Her French Impressionist decor was designed to complement the Big Easy in its famous French Quarter. Throughout the ship, you will find homages to famous artists from the late 19th century. And that brings us to our second secret. Of all the themes Jo Farkas designed, the French Impressionist on Carnival Conquest was one of his favorites. And I've got to admit, it's one of our faves too. The Impressionist theme is obvious during embarkation when you enter the ship on deck 3 in the artist lobby. The atrium is 9 decks high and features a hand-painted mural on the ceiling with scenes from Monet, Gauguin, and Degas. To truly appreciate this area, be sure to take a ride on the Panoramic Elevators to get a close look at the artwork on the walls of the upper decks. Here's a secret. There is a mural at the very top that you can only see from the elevator. Now, hold up a sec. Did you see those metal detectors on the staircases of the atrium? We saw 5 sets of these scattered around this area, and I was really curious as to what they were. To me, they looked like the anti-theft scanners that shopping malls use. I thought maybe the cruise ship security could track where passengers are going using RFID chips embedded in each guest's room card. There's only one problem. As far as I can tell, our Carnival keycards did not have RFID chips. So this secret is more of a mystery. What the heck are those gates for? If you know, please leave a comment below. Okay, back to the artwork. You'll find more opportunities to admire great masterpieces at dinner. If you choose your time dining, you will eat in the Renoir restaurant, found in midship on decks 3 and 4. Surrounded by ornate French furnishings and pristine white tablecloths, it's easy to imagine that you are having afternoon tea on the banks of the Seine River outside of Paris, just like the people depicted in Pierre-Auguste Renoir's Lunch at the Restaurant Fournet. At traditional dining in the Monet restaurant, you can admire the lovely views from the aft of the ship while surrounded by the soft blues and greens of Claude Monet's Water Lily series. Here's a secret you'll have to look closely for. The Eiffel Tower is worked into the design of both main dining rooms. Yet another nod to the Carnival Conquest French inspiration. Now, maybe you think that French Impressionism is drab and antiquated. Don't believe for a second that the Carnival Conquest is stuck in the past with an outdated decor. Typically, cruise ships go through a major dry dock and renovation every 10 years. And it's an open secret that during Carnival Conquest's first update in 2012, she was part of Carnival's Funship 2.0 fleet-wide enhancement program. This is when many of Carnival's signature venues were added, like the Punchliners Comedy Club, the EA Sports Bar, Red Frog Rum Bar, Blue Iguana Tequila Bar and Cantina, and best of all, Guy's Burger Joint, home of the best burgers at sea, and also on land, in my humble opinion. Speaking of the famous Guy's Burger Joint, if you've never been on a Carnival ship before, you might be a bit confused by all the lingo you need to know just to order your burger. But I'll fill you in on this secret language. Do you want all the toppings? Then ask for LTOP, lettuce, tomato, onion, and pickle. Like a bit of extra crunch on your burger? Then you'll want a rojo ring. Anywhere else, you just say an onion ring. What if you want to make it a cheeseburger? Well, you'll need to ask for SMC. That stands for super melty cheese. Carnival makes it by smearing a bit of Velveeta cheese sauce on top of the burger before adding a slice of American cheddar cheese. Finally, there is donkey sauce, which is a secret sauce developed by Guy Fieri himself. I'd tell you how he makes it, but then I'd have to, well, you know. Just kidding. You can get the recipe for Guy's donkey sauce right on the Carnival website. All you need is some mayo, garlic, mustard, Worcestershire sauce, and a bit of salt and pepper. In fact, Carnival has posted many of their best recipes on their website, so you can keep living your best cruise life even after you get home. I'll leave a link to all of their recipes in the descriptions below. I think the best part about exploring a new cruise ship is finding a secret spot that it seems like nobody else knows about. And one of our absolute favorite secret spots on the Carnival Conquest was the Vincent Jazz Bar tucked away at the aft of the ship on Deck 5. There is no mistaking the beautiful sunflowers painted on the walls and mirrors. They are taken directly from Vincent van Gogh's Sunflowers series. Van Gogh loved sunflowers for their yellow color, which he believed was the color of happiness. That's why he was so excited when newly developed chromium pigments allowed him to paint in hues brighter than traditional yellows. I think Van Gogh would have approved of this room. After all, he had planned to paint a mural of sunflowers in his own studios in Arles to entice Paul Gauguin to come work with him. If sunflowers aren't your jam, look for another art-inspired space found on the ship. I already mentioned the main dining rooms inspired by Monet and Renoir. Here's a few more. Here on the Carnival Conquest, the theme is Impressionistic painters, and there are little homages to these painters everywhere on the ship. This is actually called Impressionistic Boulevard, and the ceilings are all painted with famous paintings from different Impressionist artists. They also have these really cool lamps. Around the ship, there are lots of different venues named after the different artists, and you find paintings everywhere, even in the staterooms. There are replicas of these famous paintings. So it's really fun to do a little art scavenger hunt when you're on the ship and see how many you can spot. The art gallery, fittingly named after Camille Pissarro, who was called the Dean of Impressionist Painters. The buffet, called Restaurant Cézanne, where you will find mosaics of Paul Cézanne's paintings on the walls. Alfred's Bar is a quiet lounge outfitted with rich wood paneling and pastoral outdoor scenes, painted in Alfred Sisley's favorite en plein air method. The Toulouse-Lautrec Theater, where all the shows seem like a cabaret from Moulin Rouge in Paris, thanks to the artwork of André de Toulouse-Lautrec. And the Piano Blues Bar, with a vibrant shade of blue favored by Henri Matisse. And finally, Henri's Dance Club. Here we are in Henri's Bar. Now the question is, this is a disco club, but who is it themed after? Is it Henri Matisse, who was a contemporary of Pablo Picasso? Or maybe it is Henri Rousseau, who is known as La Douanière, the customs officer. Or maybe it is André Toulouse-Lautrec, who is famous for his painting at the Moulin Rouge. Take a look around and tell me if you can figure it out. The answer will be at the end of this video. If you are looking for art that appeals to a younger audience, check out the Green Eggs and Ham Specialty Breakfast. That's right, this meal is themed after the famous books written and illustrated by Dr. Seuss. The Cat in the Hat, Thing 1 and Thing 2, and of course, Sam I Am, all make an appearance during the meal. In addition to the signature dish of green eggs and ham, Carnival has invented fun items like Horton's cereal-crusted French toast, Truffala tree pancakes, and moose juice. That's just orange juice though. The green eggs and ham breakfast isn't exactly a secret. It's listed as a special experience on your Carnival app. And you'll want to reserve your spot early because this specialty breakfast usually sells out. Another kid-themed feature on the Carnival Conquest is the Twister Water Slide. This 3-story water slide is fun for cruisers of all ages. The best part was, in our experience, there was never a line. So if you're looking for a quick way to cool down from the Caribbean heat, take a quick ride down that slide. And when you exit on Deck 10, you will find the secret pool. The Stars pool is tucked away behind a sun deck. While smaller than the other 2 pools on board, its hidden location means that it's usually not as crowded. Okay, do you want to know the biggest secret on the Carnival Conquest? Something so secret that we, the secret experts, couldn't even find. Hidden at the bow of the ship is a 2-level viewing platform. This is only accessible by doors at the end of the stateroom hallways on decks 6 and 7. It isn't obvious on the ship map, but if you are looking for somewhere with a great view away from all the crowds, head here. Oh, and did you figure out which Henri the nightclub is named after? It is Henri Rousseau. He loved to paint stylized jungle scenes like the one shown here. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning about all the secrets on the Carnival Conquest. Next time you're on board, see if you can find some of these hidden gems. And if you do, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We have really enjoyed sharing our experiences with you on the Carnival Conquest. So until next time, adventure awaits.